habwokuba obutukuba hamu busahiki kutulema.
MTN
emikore n'emigenzo nibihonderwa MTN ne Royal Uganda Communications Commission.
Abati yansi malinyo tukabaikiriza kandi twagundamu na stampu ebyo bwijanja bikukora handwe ezikwawukana mali mukakuguka baine ebyome bikukebera omubiri gwawe biketegereze kikuterebaniza kandi nibakeberera hanuso omutwaro gumugwonka baine omubazo gw'okuyigula ebinywa okuterwa omutwe nibajanja bebirwaire by'omutima ulcers pressure omuswijja okutakira abakuru hamu n'okuzimba ebigere okurumu omunda bakora ali amani gekiseija baino mubazi gwa mano gw'okwijanja bebirwaire bya maino nibasuubuza green tea
abakaruguza mubasanga offices zabwe nkuru buli kya kabiri kya katano kya mukaga hamuna kya sabiti aho Muzizi Road haina Stanbic Bank hanju ya Muzeyi Kisembo Akona House abanyamarunda babayo buli kya balaza hasanyuka Band Lodge
ababugwara mubatunge buli kya kasatu executive bar and guest house omwamenya kwizigira abapuyo abatiyansi mubasangeyo kyakana ha Pentagon Bar and Lodge otunulira offices za Apuyo Town Council
habwa nyamirimo yabwe nkure ya Karuguza bakingura kuruga saha ibirezanye nkyakara kuika saha isatu zekiro mu bichweke ebindi batandika saha isatu zanye nkyakara kuika saha 11 rebagyo abantu nywena ni mwetwa kweja mukaba ba memba naye mukatandika kora na tiyanshi
kumanya bikukira hotel ha 086 13 0400 na 0740 95 10 23
Tianshi, together we share. Esaha zikire musanje zeihangwe ohulirize Kdr 100.3Fm akaire kanu nikakuleterwa
MTN Voice Bundles ezikutera network zona habei dondolo migasita 16 rundo yekonyeza my MTN app okome mu daily bundle habo kuba butukuba zaitwena titukwemerezebwa. MTN Uganda Limited nererwa Uganda Communications Commission.
A very good afternoon, listener. It's 1 minute past 1 p.m. Today is the 8th of May 2024 and the news read to you by PRISCILLA ASABA. Now the detail. At least 53 youth from Kibale district were part of the 454 youth that recently graduated with vocational skills at the Bunyoro Presidential Skilling Hub in Masindi district. This has been revealed by Godwin Angalia Kasigwa, the RDC Kibale, in an interview with Kdr's reporter in his office at the district headquarters yesterday. It's a graduation ceremony for the second and third who were skilled in different courses, including building and construction, bakery and confectionery, welding and metal fabrication, carpentry, hairdressing, knitting, shoemaking and tailoring. RDC Kasigwa has called on parents and the youth to continue embracing this government opportunity, which he says is geared at fighting unemployment among the youth in the country.
Tukaba na graduation ya intake ya kabiri ya kasatu masi indi ayinda sohabu yaitu ya Bunyoro kandi abana bakagraduate na bakibale bakabamu kabarora so gono buli mulingo gumu gwa president ya resident abana baitu hano tusobora kuba traininga mbefunira cyo gukora and guli mulimo gumu okuwanisa obunako na kulemu emirimo mu Uganda. Tukusaba abazaire ati wire tulimu ku preparinga intake ya kana. Tukusaba abazaire mutwabana bagende basome foka abantu barungi nyingi.
Robert Yagaba, the Kibale district focal person for the program, who is also the district tourism officer, says that the registration for the fourth intake students from the district is ongoing at the district headquarters, calling on the public to embrace the exercise.
Abazaire n'abaana balioko programu ekinguyirwe nka buli kiro na saa zino aba fourth intake tuli muntu andika abana muije ha ofisi y'ebyobusubuzi Kibale niho form ziri na ahandi tugenze ntuzitekayo nka stationaries kwaukana mu Nyamasaza ya Kibale hano ogenda bugani bakwa form noyujuzamwe bikwetagisibwa then bokumana kuyuzamu ojya gituletera hano na headquarter ugambire ebindi n'ebindi.
The Kibale Grade 1 court, presided over by His Worship Derek Kamanzi, has sentenced a 19-year-old man to 6 hours community service at Nyamara Health Center 3 and compensate the complainant on charges of stealing from a church. The convict is identified as Matthias Mutiaba, a resident of Mituju village in Nyamara sub-county, Kibale district. Prosecution told court yesterday that on 15th February this year, Mutiaba, while at Mituju village, willfully and unlawfully broke into the Lord Jesus Foundation Church and stole one loudspeaker and one solar battery, property of the 900,000 shillings. The magistrate made the verdict basing on the corroborating evidence brought before court by the complainants. He further ordered the convict to compensate 550,000 shillings to the church in default, 5-month imprisonment. The same court has sentenced Stanley Katusime, 31, a resident of Kaisobakara village in Matale sub-county, Kibale district, to 10-month imprisonment on charges of theft. That during the month of August last year, the accused broke into the house of Mary Nachimuli and stole a bag containing 2 dresses and 50 kilograms of beans, all valued at 420,000 shillings, property of the same person. Indo Katsime, who has been on remand for 8 months, pleaded guilty to the charges and asked for a lenient sentence, which prompted the magistrate to sentence him accordingly. And terrorism related to the 2016 violence in Kasese district. High Court Judge Alice Komhanji Kauka yesterday ruled that the prosecution presented sufficient evidence to proceed with the charges. Kitsumbire is accused of participating in a meeting where King Mumbere allegedly made utterances interpreted as calls for rebellion against the government. King Mumbere and 216 others were initially charged alongside Kitsumbire. However, the culpability and with the charges against him withdrawn, Kitsumbire, however, received amnesty and will now stand trial alone. Moving on, the ongoing inspections at Karuma Bridge have led to a sharp increase in transport fares in Gulu City. A journey to Kampala now taking a traveller back by 50,000 shillings by bus, with an increase of 20,000 shillings. The rise in transport fare is attributed to the longer diversion route through Parkwatch Road to Makshon Falls National Park. The bridge was carrying less than 28 persons, with lorrying on one side of the bridge have worn out, which started a phased movement of small vehicles and motorcycles across the old Karuma Bridge. Nathan Alioni, a bus operator with Opit Travelers, says that from Gulu to Kampala route used to be 6 hours but now prolonged up to 10 hours. Godfrey Okema, a ticket clerk with HMK Bus Company, says the diversion is a long one and it makes them plead with customers to pay due to the fact that they incur a lot in fuel expenses. It has also been noted that most travelers from Gulu to Kampala now prefer to use taxis or smaller vehicles in order to avoid the long alternative routes.
You are still listening to Kdr News Broadcast. This is the news on the international scene.
On the international scene, Ukrainian counterintelligence investigators claim to have foiled a Russian plot to assassinate President Vladimir Zelensky. Ukraine SBU says that it had exposed a network of agents run by Federal Security Service F, whose aim was to assassinate Zelensky and military officials. The SBU notes that 2 colonels in the State Guard of Ukraine, which protects top officials, were arrested on suspicion of treason to enact the plan drawn up by Russia. Russia had worked to identify individuals close to Zelensky's security detail, the statement says, adding that the colonels were recruited before Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February 2020. Training to curb unemployment. This is trial of alleged treason, terrorism, and Ukraine claims it foiled Russian plot to assassinate President Zelensky. At 10 minutes past 1 p.m., that was the news read to you by Priscilla ASABA. Stay tuned and enjoy your lunch.
From all over the world, local, regional, national and international, Kdr FM brings you all the stories. Kdr FM News, World's proudly sponsored by MTN.
Paka okumaho bando ye dakika message round MBs ezikuja mu sente zawe zoine miga star *not star *hash round kosa app ya my MTN kutunga bando za paka twine kitwine habo abantu bona habo kuba obutukuba hamu